The Tribunes. Joyce Mohope, hemiplegic as a result of a stroke. Joyce started Ndonga's Riverside Production, a company that trains and opens markets for people with disabilities in African art decor, upholstery, and sewing. Since its inception in 2011, this business venture has seen a few local people with disabilities benefit in skills training and knowledge on handsworks, including dressmaking and beading. We salute Joyce today for her business acumen and the fact that she has opened business opportunities for people with disabilities in South Africa today.
Ngiyalibingelela nonke. Mina ngiJoyce Mohope from Mpumalanga. Le business le ngiyivulile sifuna isofa yakho ufuna kuyilatha. Thina siyayithatha siyarenewa iba yentsha. Siphinde sicoverishe ngeplastic ibe enhle kakhulu. Imoto yakho mayiphelile amasidi vele siyayirenewa ibe enhle. Namhla ngithanda kubonga kakhulu ngiyabonga. Lento lisiyenzele yona ngiyabonga kakhulu. Ningapheleli lapho niqhubeke phambili. Nami ngisazobatshela lesiya khona ukuthi hey ngibone emhlolo. Inkinga yethu la sikhona khona sinceda ngile mali yemtende. Yes, grant ye disability. Asine mali yokwenza umsebenzi wethu uphumele phambili. So maniyazi khona ukuthi ningasinceda sincedeni nje ukuthi umsebenzi uqhubekele phambili.
Kunjani Joyce?
Rona likhaya.
Ngiyaphila nami kakhulu. Joyce, uphuma eMpumalanga. Where people with disabilities still want a champion. And also choose for a tribute because you are championing the rights of people with disabilities. Tell us about what you do.
And then solely udira na dira project. So after ma give up bang arwa tlogela. Rona ra gopela gore nya ka o kena mo a berekelang gona. Ka re dumelela gore re kene. Ra thoma fase ba re dira brand manufacturer re a dira di sofa re ra gona go ithoma fase re renewa. Iba intja ikaba isele ife ihwile ifelile.
Yes. Or nithatha ni refurbishing khona nizokwazi ukuyinikeza umuntu and it's looking like brand new.
Yes, brand new.
Yes.
Okay, siya coverisha ngama plastic.
Yeah.
Yes. Siya coverisha ma seat ya moto.
Yep.
Di koloi.
Yeah.
Re cover the sofa the seat tsa tsona.
Yeah.
Re dira sewing. Ba rona le batho ba chuta go roka.
And tell me, lezinto enzenzayo nezenza kuphela for women with disabilities, noma it's just people with disabilities and the able-bodied all together?
Yeah. With the able, they come.
Yeah.
Ba tla ba khonang. Ba tla ba tle go ruta go roka, go dira tsona di sofas.
Yeah. Kade ngikhuluma nawe ekuqaleni, you said you are very proud of the project. But at the same time, there are certain things like funding, the improvement. Tell us more about where the needs are of the project.
Problem ya rona ke arna chelete ya gore dilo di tswele pele ga botse. Kana gona ba re lebelele ba di custom tse di tla dinya ka gore renewa fela. Bialo gore re khone go dira like ya ka bedroom suit. Re ka khona go dira problem ke material arna ma plank.
Okay.
But re ba go khona ba go rekela gore ba reka ba beya mo le ba di materials ke tse re ka khona go dira.
Oh,
Like-
kuba khona ama cash flow problems.
Yes.
La uthola khona ukuthi ngisho usofa ungakwazi ukwenza.
Yes.
But and have you never gone to a bank for something like that?
No, as khale re thomile. O ka re na le 4 months to 5 months re thomile. Are so se re khopela.
Okay. And Uhulumeni was a Mpumalanga, what is it doing for you?
Are so tšwele pele ka mokgwa are so re sa ilo ga sida fela gore ba re thushe mo la le mo.
But has anybody from government or anybody from a funding agency
No.
ever come to you, or have you ever gone to government or a funding agency?
No.
Why not?
I get a o kra ka di are tv or tshware botse mang are na light.
Annihilators, and you don't have
Yeah.
information as what to do.
Yes.
Ikona a Department of Economic Development in every province. We know that, Angit. And when Anjongomdo says catch for something as big as it tributes, surely this must give you a clout to go to those people and say, here I am, I've been recognized amongst the best in South Africa. Also, what Kabangalo?
Le ke ngiphatha kakhulu ukuthi ukuthi angithi ngihlala kugula sometimes uthola ukuthi le stroke sometimes angikhona ukuhamba kufanele ngiye doctor manje mangifanele ngicabanga ngeproject sometimes uthola nami ngithi hayi manje sengikhathele.
No, but you need to understand one thing. When you're a strong woman and says so your organization is much bigger than you now. Where's one thing is short? Which means asikho isidingo sokuthi uma wena une problem ye stroke bese organization yaman. The organization is not Joyce. What's the name of the organization? Ngicela utshela abantu your organization lo registered.
Le ngiregister
The name,
igama la project
the project, yeah.
Dongas Riverside.
Dongas. Udonga nje lulodwa by the riverside. Uyabona la ukuthi lapho akudlala. And I'm saying to you, don't you think it's time, Ngempela, you got to understand ukuthi vision usuyibekile wena. You have already put a vision on top of the table, and that vision now needs other people to carry its mission forward.
Yes. That's why ngifuna ukucela uMameli.
Yep.
Ukuthi asincedise.
Yes.
Ngoba ukathi mangizala bengayazi ukuthi uzohlangana nabo bosisimiri.
Yes.
Yeah. Manje bese ngihlangane nawe ngifuna ukukhuluma naye vele ukuthi hey asibone le plan ukuthi usinceda kanjani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ngoba sesikhuluma iqiniso inkampani ingalithola usizo ebank. Kodwa uma ngabe nina senikwazi ukuthi nipackage idingo zenkampani ngendlela eyifunwa ibank. Kufana noma kuzofika umuntu wakwaHulumeni enimbizile nathi wozoselekelela. Still they are going to want you to package yourself in a way abakwazi ukuthi ba understand and know how to assist.
Yeah, inkinga yokuthi singayi kuyocela imali lapha. Sine inkinga zethu zinkulu ngoba angithi uyabona manje asina singeke sithi next time bazoyenza into enje and then bazothenga angithi asina iqiniso ukuthi bazoyenza labo bantu ngaleso sikhathi bazobathole imaterial manje angithi lapho bazozibuza ukuthi kunani ebanki yabona uthole ukuthi asineneeds. Yeah.
No choice ngiyakuzwa. I think kodwa kuzofunela kwawena ukuhlala phansi kube khona izinto ozozenza ngenkani. Ikakhulukazi ngoba emva koyi-registering company sefuna luyithatha uyise phambili. Uyangizwa ma? Ngiyajabula kakhulu Joyce. Ngiyajabula kakhulu ngikhuluma noJoyce lapha waseMpumalanga. Bushbuckridge. Bushbuckridge.
Yes.
An ambassador. Ngiyabonga kakhulu ma. Thank you very much.
The Tribunes.
Undera Daglon, paraplegic. Ms. Daglon is a highly qualified executive with more than 10 years' experience within the South African private and non-profit sector. She is currently Chief Executive Officer of Disability Workshop Development Enterprise, and has used her knowledge in human resources development to lobby and advocate for the rights of the disability sector. As the National Coordinator for Disabled People South Africa, she also assisted with developing the technical assistance guidelines commissioned by the Department of Labor that assisted with improved employment for people with disabilities. We salute her today as the tribute for human resources development.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think first and foremost, I would really, from the bottom of my heart, like to express my sincere thanks to the organizers and the sponsors, the different government departments that made this possible. I think for the last 3 days, it has been an exquisite journey of total indulgence and luxury, and only somebody like Musa Zulu can think up something like that. So it has been absolutely fabulous. Thank you. With my mother being in the audience, I guess I can tell a few secrets because she knows this. And she'll vouch for this, that I've never really been a rule follower. And of course, when I was young, that caused her a lot of grief. But I'm not much of a rule follower. So when I had a spinal cord injury and I had to come to terms with not being able to walk, little did I know that not being able to walk would be the least of my problems. It's easy to deal with not being able to walk, but when society wants to give you the rules that govern disability, namely that now you have to be asexual, you have to be passive, you have to sit in a corner and feel sorry for yourself, that's when not ever being really much of a rule follower inspired me not to follow those rules. So I made it my point to get an education despite inaccessibility of some of the training institutions in South Africa. I made it a point to get an education. I made it a point to work harder than anybody else. Also, of course, by the time I had a disability, I was quite seasoned in discrimination against being black, discrimination against being a woman. So I was able to quickly recognize the very subtlety of prejudice, because sometimes prejudice can come in various forms. So I resisted those prejudices, and fortunately I also had people around me that would inspire me, people with disabilities who in their own rights are the unsung heroes. As I look in the room, I recognize many of them. So I guess my message to young women with disabilities is you need to know that none of the achievements come very easily. Every day you have to make a choice to look at the stars above you and not at your body that does not work. Look at the beautiful flowers, listen to beautiful music, and stay focused on being the best that you can be, and realize that you deserve the best, and be the best that you can be.
So a rose by any other name would still be a rose.
Correct.
Beautiful name, Andere. Andere.
Ondere.
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 Beautiful name. What does it mean?
It means one of this, a ray of sunshine.
A ray of sunshine.
That's right.
And as a woman with a disability, do you believe that you have been a ray of sunshine for others in one way or the other?
Absolutely.
Talk to me about it.
Well, very early on in my life, I realized that happiness does not sit externally. Happiness comes from within. You know, so often we look for happiness or respect or dignity in the eyes of other people or in the actions of other people. But when we really sit and we are quiet and we are honest with ourselves, we need to look within ourselves and love and respect ourselves first. And that's true happiness, because nobody can take that away from you.
That's very true. But then someone is going to come back and say, in a world that is harsh, in a world full of discrimination, it becomes very difficult for us to shine from within. What does it take for a person to still maintain that ray of hope, even in the face of adversity? And maybe what I'm trying to ask you is, how have you pulled through in a world that we all know can sometimes just simply blacken the light?
When I'm faced, and it's happened so often and so frequently when you don't expect it, when I'm faced with somebody who does discriminate or does not know any different, I stop and I reflect, and I actually feel pity for them, because they themselves are in a place of unhappiness, because they themselves don't know a different way of being. So, of course, it's not easy. And of course, you know, these onslaughts of you are different or you are less than comes often when we are already feeling a little bit vulnerable. It comes on a day when everything seems to not be going your way. But that's really the moments that I feel I grow most. And that's and when I am tempted to ask why me, how do I deserve it? I have to ask myself, why not me? Why not me?
Just when you were on the why me question, I was just about to jump in and ask you. Here you are today in KwaZulu-Natal, one of the 12 chosen tribunes for 2012. When that question, why me, comes through, and all of us know it has negative implications than the why me when people are discriminating against you, what comes to you? A tribune?
That was a very special honor, Musa, when I got the opportunity to be entered for tribunes, and also when I got the call to say that I was chosen as one. That was really, it came from a place of realization. It came from a place of respect for the kind of work that I do, and it gave so much meaning, and it's filled me again with so much determination to be better equipped when I'm faced with people or circumstances.
It pleases us to hear that, given the fact that your determination to assist others is well documented. Tell us a bit about what you do, particularly the community outreach part.
Since I became disabled in my early 20s, I very quickly realized that the most disadvantaging condition is the lack of employment opportunities. I became disabled in the 90s, so the Employment Equity Act was barely there. There weren't all of these other pieces of legislation that protected my rights. So I took it upon myself to make employment or facilitating employment opportunities for other people such a focus for me, because I remember I remember the dignity I felt when I had some money in my pocket. You know, when you have some money in your pocket, nothing can stop you. The world is your oyster. So I want my dream is really that everybody should have a job, a meaningful job that gets up in the morning and they feel satisfaction in what they do. So that's what Disability Workshop Development Enterprise allows me to do. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to be able to do that.
And where to from now, Declan? Where to from now?
Where to from now? Every day is a new day, new opportunities, new jobs to be created for people. I look around me and I see young people that need to get into jobs, young people that need to have some cash in their pockets. They need to buy cars, they need to have
the cash
nice
in your
houses.
pocket. It sounds cash in your pocket. Yeah.
They should take us out to dinner. They should
Yeah.
buy us drinks.
Yep.
We need to get there. We have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Andre, there's something I'm realizing about your spirit. You spoke about rays of light and all of that, and it even shows in your crutches. I mean, your crutches have stockings. Now, let me show you this. I mean, how many people? Sorry to the microphone, no, but we'll keep on rolling. I mean, we don't care. How many people have their crutches with stockings? And there's something very interesting you said about that. You said these are an extension of who you are.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, they are. Talk to us about that.
Oh, I embrace my assistive devices. This is a part of me. This is a part of my personality.
Yeah.
Just like I have black hair, I have black crutches with lace stockings.
Yeah. So in other words,
So-
you're trying to say to us, no need for a person that is disabled in an army and is on crutches, and their crutches are not camouflaged, you know. The army camouflage.
Yes.
In other words,
If it's an extension of your personality,
cut.
I think that it's important that you must remember
Yeah.
not to look down. You must remember to look at the sky and the beauty around you,
Yep.
and not at the part of your body that's not working.
You say so. Under a Declan. I can never ask for more. I mean, you give it just like it is. Thank you, Declan. It has been amazing talking to you. And meeting you in person after reading all of those scripts about what you do was really inspirational.
The honor is mine. Thank
you very much to you. Andre Deglon, ladies and gentlemen, there she is. Thank you.
The Tribunes.
Binila Ompasad, current management committee member and former vice chairperson of the Quadpara Association of KZN. Binila is a self-starter and a team player with strong communication skills and a passion for disability empowerment issues. She is secretary to Eskom Holdings Information Management Manager and holds a National Senior Certificate in Business Studies, Accounting and Administration. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Binila as she comes forward. So Benilla, we were talking earlier, and you said a very interesting line that I think best summarizes the type of a person you are. You said to me, the world does not change us, we change the world.
That's true.
Talk to me more about that statement.
Okay. I've been a quadriplegic from the time I was 17 years old. I was shot in a hijacking, and the bullet lodged in my neck, C5 and 6, and I became a quadriplegic instantly.
And when was this in terms
1989.
of years? 1989.
I was 17, and this happened a month before my matric exam.
Wow.
So I was hospitalized. I was for 2 months, very, very critical in the beginning, and stabilized a little later, and forcefully discharged myself from hospital.
You forcefully discharged yourself from hospital?
After 2 months.
I
actually wanted to go write my exams.
Ah.
That was what my concern was. And the doctor says, no, you've got a long time here to recover, so just take it easy.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, but I need to go and write my exams, because I had been studying for my matric exam.
Yeah.
And in any case, as I got home, it was baby steps all over again. My mom was there, very strong family support, my dad, my other sisters. And it was just a matter of taking one day at a time to get through each day. The challenges were far too many, and the only thing that could help was a prayer.
You say so?
Yes.
When you say sisters,
I have
how many?
two older sisters.
Take us back to the time when
two
all
younger
of you
sisters.
were young and growing up. Where did you grow up, Bilile?
Stanger.
Stanger, KwaZulu-Natal.
Yes.
Yes.
So very, very much a family that's was very close-knit, in a community that's very close-knit, and always on holiday with my parents. whether it was a weekend, a long weekend, or just any weekend or vacation time. Never liked staying at home. I was a real tomboy, liked climbing trees and doing all the things that boys do. And I just feel like I was there in my dad's eye. It was the son he didn't have.
Yep.
So all that actually just stopped when I became a quadriplegic. And
When you say stopped, what do you mean?
my dad didn't take it very well. He actually couldn't see me in this condition as a disabled person because I just ran around too much and too freely, you know. And he felt that God had cheated him, and his words were, God had taken the prettiest flower in the garden and damaged it, you know. And it took him very many years to actually accept my disability, for one, and accept me.
Just take me back to that moment where your father is so, I don't want to say disappointed. Was it disappointed?
No, disheartened. He was
Disheartened.
broken. He was very much broken because the doctors actually didn't give me much hope that I would survive or that I would be able to do anything for myself again.
And how did it affect your relationship with your father?
Very, very much.
Did he get distant? Did he get
He
too
did.
overprotective?
No, distant. And he actually couldn't handle seeing me being ill, or even like having the slightest flu, or, you know, any simple illness. And I would sit down and talk to him and, you know, tell him that I'm okay. But a year later of being at home, I realized that, you know, my mom had actually stopped living, and she had dropped everything to take care of me. And I felt it was unfair on my sisters and my dad that she wasn't giving them as much time. So a year later, I forcefully moved out of home.
Also, you've always made these big decisions, something like taking yourself out of hospital and forcefully removing yourself from home.
Yeah.
Is that what
So-
summarizes the nature of the person you are, where you will take that
I
decision no
normally,
matter how?
no, not really. I normally just think things through very quickly, and well, they say you can never make the right decisions without making the wrong ones first.
Yep.
So at that point, I really didn't know how or where was the first step to me getting back what I had lost.
Yep.
In terms of being independent, in terms of taking care of myself. It so happened that I had moved to Durban. It was a facility for people with disabilities.
And how old are you then?
19.
You are 19. This is 2 years after your accident.
Yes.
Yeah. So Binila, are you sitting here in front of me and telling me that the person you are today, that has been presented with the tribute statuette, has always made those hard decisions in order to go forward?
Yes, and I learned that just 2 years after my disability, where I felt like I was cheated out of my teenage life. I needed to make decisions about my life going forth, but as an adult, which I wasn't ready for at that time.
Let's just take it all the way to the present. Here you are now, because I come to realize that you have always looked into the horizon. You're a tribune, still in your wheelchair, an inspiration to other people, not only just women with disabilities, but I know that the public that nominated you is not necessarily the public from the disability sector. Where to from now, Binila, in terms of your lessons to life?
You know, I must tell you, when I was 21, it was 1993, I moved into another facility in Ashley Pinetown for quadriplegics and paraplegics. And I met people in wheelchairs that were in wheelchairs for about 15 to 20 years. And I asked myself, I'm 21, do people with disabilities and people in wheelchairs actually live that long? And this September is 23 years that I am a quadriplegic. In January this year, I celebrated my 40th birthday. So I've had a lot of challenges along the road. Very, very many that, you know, even my everyday life, my day starts at 4 in the morning when I have to go to work.
Yeah.
That's Monday to Friday. And I'm up at 4. I'm in the office at 6:30 in the morning, and my day finishes at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And everything that I do is a challenge. Nothing is taken for granted.
They say life begins at 40. You're a tribune at 40. What does it say to you celebrating your 40th? and South Africa recognizes you for the 23 years that you have sat on the chair?
An amazing milestone in my life. I didn't think I'd get there. There were times when I was hospitalized for operations where the doctors didn't think that I would make it. And it's just a voice in my head that tells me that the next day was going to get better.
Benel, it can be endless hours before we finish our conversation, but for being with us here and gracing the occasion of tributes with your presence, we're truly honored. Benela Ompasad, gentlemen and ladies, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
The Tribunes.
Sinead Bezuidenhout. Some people were born with a love for the wild and have an understanding that in nature we find not only silence but also voices that talk to us about who we really are. As a tour operator, Janae offers accessible tours for persons with disabilities. She has also established various disability projects that have attracted disabled travelers from all over the world to KwaZulu-Natal. It is people like Benila that make us fully understand that in recreation we also find our unity. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Janae as she comes forward to address us.
My company, Access to Africa Safaris, is a company that caters for people with special needs. We have a passion for inclusive tourism, for universal access. This company was born of my own experiences of being severely hearing impaired, and with my husband, unfortunately he couldn't make it tonight, but he's a quadriplegic. So that's given us a wide range of experiences to fall back on, so we know exactly what our guests need. If you have a chance, do have a look at our website, accesstoafricasafaris.com, and we have all the information about our tours, our itineraries. I have information about JJ's mouth paintings, and we have information about our community project. Something I'd really like to share with you, every one of our guests that have come over from international, from overseas, have said to us, access, yes, that is important. Accessibility is important, but more than anything else, the attitudes of the person, of the people they're visiting is priority. And I'm pleased to say, I'm very proud to say that all they've ever found was warmth, welcoming, very accommodating, very tolerant attitudes. And I only have South Africa to thank for that, and KwaZulu-Natal especially. Thank you.
Janae. You are deaf, they say, but you can lip read.
I must lip read.
Brilliantly as very few people in this world can.
Yeah.
How did you acquire this skill?
I think it comes natural from birth. If you can't hear, you know you have to see to hear. That's the way it is.
So are you telling me, in other words, that for every person with a disability, I'll tell you what, just continue with it as it rolls. For every person with a disability, they should see what they can do despite their limitations.
Definitely. Definitely.
Say more, say more.
The way I look at it is not just about my disability, it's about JJ's disability as well. Because it's